You guys, Issa Rae and Syreeta Singleton have a brand new series out on HBO called Rap Shit. And guess what? We gotta speak to them. Check it out. 305, we live!
Just dance, so clean, seduce,
We should start a rap group.
First of all, congratulations on the show. I absolutely loved it. So there is this old sitcom on UK's Channel 4 called Peep Show. And they took a novel approach to POV as well. And I wanted to ask you how you came about deciding to tell this story from the point of view of screens.
I just feel like we are in an era and a time where that is our life. We are watching people live through screens. Sometimes I think that I've kept up with friends that I haven't seen in years. And I feel like I saw them yesterday when I have not seen them in years, simply because I follow their social media stories. I know things about their family that I have not personally engaged with them about. And that's weird, quite frankly. And then, pop culturally, like that's how I discover and become endeared to and root for my favorite artists, my favorite creatives is through this lens. And so it felt very nowish. It felt very timely to tell a story about these up and coming female rappers through that specific POV.
It was very cool. It took me a second to figure out what was going on. And then when I did, I was like, oh, I see what they're doing. That's cool. So did that change your process as writers and showrunners in any way? Because I was talking to Ada and Chameleon earlier, and I was asking them about how it affected them as actors, because obviously we're on this heightened mode whenever we're recording something on TikTok or Instagram, right? It isn't quite as naturalistic as regular acting.
Yes. There's definitely a lot of posturing that goes in, I think, in general, but then especially when you're an artist and you're trying to sell something, right? When you're trying to sell yourself or when you're trying to sell your music. So we definitely wanted to kind of show that difference between what it looks like when they're recording and then what it looks like when the camera turns off. And so we have a few different moments like that throughout where you can see what this character is actually experiencing versus what they want to get across. I mean, people use social media for so many ways to communicate messages to one another as well, and some of the personal relationships with the characters on the show. But in terms of like writing, the device was really something that we had in mind and something that we wanted to initially kind of break story with it in mind, but then we kind of had to reverse it a little bit. Okay, let's just focus on the story and then figure out how would a person who is in this position right now convey some of this stuff on social media. So then we kind of found our balance. I think as you see later in later episodes, we kind of take somewhat of a 50-50 approach, showing you both sides. Yeah.
That's very cool. There's something you guys captured so perfectly. About a year ago, I was speaking to Hassan Minhaj about the morning show, and he was talking about who your people are. And your people are the ones who know the WhatsApp version of you, right? Because that's the real you. And I think you captured this dichotomy really well in the show between, hey, public persona me versus DM me, right?
Yeah.
And I absolutely love that. But I wanted to ask you about your personal relationship with social media. How does it work with you as creative people? Do you need to shut that stuff off to work, or does it fuel your inspiration?
Well, first of all, thank you for saying that. That's such a prescient thing for him to say. And it's so accurate. I mean, my personal relationship to social media it's ironic because, that's how I got here. That's how I'm here talking to you, is through social media and having to rely on it to have my work seen as an artist. And now, being in a public space and being like, I don't want people all up in my shit. I don't want people all up in my business. And
I mean, now you're on HBO, damn it.
I mean, yes, and now there's a different type of scrutiny. And, one of the things that we explore here is authenticity. And, I have had to navigate that from initially just posting whatever I wanted and now curating it. Like even just yesterday, I posted a video and it's authentic, it's real, but I had to record it 4 times because one time the lighting was ugly. The second time I forgot some people. The third time, but all you're seeing is like, oh, she's so grateful, And I think that's something that's ingrained in us. Like everybody does it. Everybody posts a selfie that they took 97 times before and rejected images, but you're just like, and then you post it and people like it and you feel affirmed. And I think there's something so unhealthy and chaotic and psychotic about that, but that is our culture now. And so for us, it was just really important to have a show set through that lens because it does reflect the times, and there's also something really fascinating about it.
Yeah, it's also like social media almost feels like people's like the new resume sometimes.
Right.
Like when you are interested in working with someone, it's like, I'll pull up their social media page. Let's look at their work via their Instagram, And so I think because of that, it does also add that super curated. It's like you're supposed to be yourself, but at the same time, you're supposed to be always promoting yourself, giving yourself an opportunity to get the next thing. So yeah, I feel like I miss the days of Snapchat where I feel like I remember you commenting when I was trying to learn how to Millie Rock on Snapchat. But just like when you didn't have to think so much about it. Where things just
disappear?
Yes, where things just disappear and no one really cares because we're just kind of like, But yeah, now it feels like you're buying and selling. You're buying and selling on social media.
I'm all out of time, but it was great speaking to you. I remember reading this somewhere where someone was saying that I think in about 30 years, if social media was still around, nobody would end up being president because they'd find all of the nasty shit they've ever done.
It's so real. We're just all documented.
But thank you so much for your time and congratulations to the show. It's really smart and very cool.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your wonderful, insightful questions.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
That's a party going down.
Girl, what kind of parties you be at?
That was Issa Rae and Syreeta Singleton. Their brand new show, Rap Shit, is now streaming on HBO. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to check out our other interviews right here on this channel. Tell your friends, tell your family. You know what to do.